Hey y'all. I know I have been away for so long and I feel like it is only right to finally tell you guys where we've been, what we've been up to, and the CPS scare that we had. So let's get into the video. I know that automatically got everybody's attention, so I will hopefully try to do my best to explain everything that happened and everything that we've been going through in these past couple of months. So let's get into it. So I think the biggest thing that everybody is wondering right now, sorry I have this extra battery in my hand. I think the biggest thing that everybody is probably wondering is what happened with CPS. So we actually never got all the way through to CPS, but we were definitely threatened with CPS, and here's the reason why. So Reese was underweight. If you go back and look in our old videos, you might see that Reese was smaller than Ben, and we never thought anything of it. We were always just kind of like, okay, well, I'm part Filipino, so maybe one of my kids, 1 out of the 5, might have gotten the Filipino gene that's a little bit smaller than my big gorilla of a husband. Yeah, no, that's not what was happening. So what happened was that Reese was not getting the nutrients that he needed, and here is the reason why. We decided to use a formula feeding system that made your bottles for you, and while they are usually great, I think this particular machine was not mixing the bottles properly. So when it was not mixing the bottles properly, what had happened was Reese was not getting enough formula mixed in with the water. And while I do believe that they work great for people, also know that there can be instances where there are mistakes. So I would say maybe just test out a bottle or two, one by hand, and test one that you compare to one made by the machine. Give it a taste. It may not be the best, but you also want to make sure that your baby's getting the right amount. So Manuel and I both kind of had a feeling for maybe a couple of weeks. I thought it, I didn't say anything. He thought it, he didn't say anything. And we didn't really take it seriously until we went to the doctor, and she looked at me and was like, he is severely underweight. And my mind was saying, what? Reese was in the 1 percentile, even lower than 1 percentile. He wasn't even on the chart in terms of measuring where babies were supposed to be. And that absolutely freaked me out. I felt like a terrible parent. And I think as soon as the lady seen that I had 5 kids, she automatically looked at me like I was neglecting my kids. Like all of a sudden I picked that one child to just neglect. Not the case. We love all of our kids, and we would never do anything that would harm our babies. And a lot of you guys know us personally. You know that my kids are my world. I would never do anything to harm them, never do anything to put them in jeopardy. I love my kids. They're my world. So when we left the doctor's office that day, I was feeling just really like a failure as a mom. Like, how are you not feeding your baby the right amount? How are you not giving your baby the proper nutrients? I just felt like a crap mom. That is the truth of it. And I left, and she was like, I want to run tests on him. I want to run all of these things. And I was like, okay, well, we can do that. The weekend was incredibly busy, so we could not go to get those tests ran. And mainly a lot of that is because their hours were terrible. I have been looking for a good pediatrician in Tacoma for so long, and I have not been able to find one. Majority of that was before Manuel worked at the job he does now. He did not have benefits. So we were on, what was that, Apple Care, or like the Obamacare plan, or whatever the affordable health care was. And so that's what we were on. And it's not a lot of doctors accept that. So it's hard. You kind of have to pick through their list. This was the only one that we had found in our area that had it. Thank God we ended up finding a new one. I will tell you about that in a minute. But this was the only one that we had found. This is exactly where they sent us to after we had the babies. You know, you have to like that 3-day appointment after they're born. So this is the one that they sent us to, and we just stayed there. It worked fine when Manuel was able to get off of work early. You know, the job he worked last, it worked fine for that season. This was no longer that season that we were able to do that. So that's fine. We ended up staying here, and we just did not like that the hours had changed. We couldn't bring siblings, and they kind of looked at us like we were weird, or like that we were really neglecting our kids because we didn't take them to the doctor during COVID. The reason with that is because they didn't allow siblings. We have 5 kids, and so it just was not possible. So with 5 kids, you can't bring them all to the doctor. You could only bring one, and my husband didn't get home until after the time was passed. fast. So I think they closed at like 4. Manuel didn't get home until like 3:50. We weren't gonna make it to the doctor in that time. So, and they don't even schedule appointments at that time. Anyways, so that is pretty much what happened. And they pretty much were trying to say like, we were neglecting him as a baby because we were bringing him to the doctor. Nobody can plan for COVID times. Nobody knew that it was going to be this long, for one. Nobody knew that it was even going to hit this quick, and that it just really cut out all siblings and everything, that we weren't even able to go. So that is also a con of having a big family. I love my big family, but you cannot bring them all to the doctor. Good to know, but that was really, really hard. Anyway, so we ended up finding him a new doctor because she had sent us a letter saying, if you guys do not get to the hospital and get these tests ran, I am going to be legally obligated to report you for negligent parenting. And I was like, are you kidding me? My heart was racing. I dropped everything. I mean, if someone's threatening you with CPS, everything stops. So my whole life was about making sure my son got to wait. So she told us, because we missed the testing that weekend, sorry, I went all the way around in a loop, because we had missed the testing that weekend, that we obviously now must be neglecting him. And so we said, you know what, I had talked to my aunt, Sister Cora. If you're watching, I know you probably will. Thank you so much for all of your help. And yes, she's my aunt, and I still call her Sister Cora. She will always be Sister Cora. Anyways, because I was able to talk to her, she was like, find a new doctor. And I'm so grateful that she did. I felt like I had to play by their rules. In the end, I want you guys to always advocate for your children and do what's best for you and your family. They work for you, regardless of if your insurance pays them, regardless of whoever pays them, they still work for you, and you have an option. You don't have to go with whatever they say. And so we didn't. I decided that I wasn't going to go with a doctor that wanted to scare me into doing what's right. In the same breath, she would say, I want to help you. Let's do this together. But then you threaten me with CPS. So that automatically was like, I'm done. I'm turned off. I don't care if we have to travel all the way to Seattle. I'm getting away from this doctor. And not out of fear, like I'm trying to hide something, but out of, I don't want anybody who's trying to bully me into making me do whatever they want. And while it's for Reese's good, don't bully me in the process. I did not need that already feeling like a failure. So I decided to look for a new doctor. We ended up finding one super close to the house. I love our doctor that we have now. She has worked with us tremendously. Their hours are a lot longer, so we're actually able to make it to the appointments, and Manuel makes it home in time so he can stay with the other kids. Still, we can't bring all of the siblings, which is totally fine because I wouldn't want to anyway. So he's able to come home and be with them, and I'm able just to rush them off to the appointments. We have loved them so far. We have been with them since October-ish, because that is when the threat started. So maybe like September. And we have been with them since, and honestly, I would not change. I love them. I absolutely adore them. They work with you and they hear your concerns. I think they knew that I was scared. She got to read the doctor's notes from the previous appointment, and she was like, wow, I'm not sure why she would do what she did or why she would say the things that she's saying. It just takes a little bit of more effort to get them up to there. So we went from appointment to GI to cardio. I mean, they went on to like say, let's cover all of our bases. And I love that. At least I hated all of the appointments, but although I love that she just didn't jump to saying there must be something wrong with your parenting. So we went to GI. They told us to start adding in more formula with his milk or with his water. So I think we did 5 scoops of formula to like 4 scoops of, or to like 4 things of water, whatever. It was a 5-to-4 ratio anyways. So that is what we did, and Reese is so much bigger is what I can say. We actually just recently went to his appointment, and I cried in the doctor's office. I was cheering. I was so happy. Reese is finally on the charts, and not even just on the chart, he is in the 20-something percentile, and that just made my heart so happy to know that I felt like I had just set him up for failure for the rest of his life, that because I had done his bottles wrong or whatever, I felt like it was my fault, that it was irreparable damage. And so I'm so grateful that my doctor worked with me, that she just made me feel comfortable and let me know that I wasn't the only one who had done this. He was diagnosed with failure to thrive, and the last appointment that we went to, she said, we're taking this off of his charts, and I wanted to do a praise dance in her office. Like I'm getting choked up now because that's my baby. You know, as a mom, you want nothing but the best for your baby, and to know that you've done something when you're supposed to protect them and love them just really is just hard, you know? And I'm like, how did I not know? How could I have not have known that his body, I mean, you know, and although I had the thought, how could I not have changed it right then and there? And the truth is, we're gonna make mistakes, and thank the Lord that he can fix those mistakes, and thank God that he gives us doctors who can help us and walk us through that process. But thank you, God, that he gave me the wisdom of when to walk away. So we walked away from the last doctor and walked into probably the best blessing that we could have found, because we absolutely love these doctors. We changed all of our kids over. All of our kids like her. And even right now with Nathaniel, we are dealing with so many different things with his skin. So they've been super helpful there. So that is the biggest reason why I took a break from YouTube. Sorry, this video has been kind of like rambling and all over the place, but I just really wanted to let you guys know exactly kind of what we've been going through in the season. And the biggest question I've been asked is, are we coming back? And if so, when? The answer to that question is yes, we are back. So I will be making more videos coming up. Again, I am so sorry for my absence. I'm so sorry that I have been gone for so long. But the biggest reason, again, is I'm a mom and my kids come first. No matter what is happening around me, no matter my job, I would drop everything for my kids if that's what they needed of me. And in that moment, my kid needed me. And so we have just been adjusting as a family of 5. I think people think, oh, it's been a year, you should be pretty acclimated. The answer to that is never. As they get older, you start to find new challenges, you start to find new things that you realize are not working. So to answer that is no, we are still getting used to having 5 kids. Homeschool has been great. Dakota is 4. And he is actually finishing up his kindergarten lessons. So Dakota was able to jump forward a level. He is reading at 4. He is able to read really well, actually. And India is 7, and she just finished up her 1st grade. And her birthday was 8 days after the deadline, so she had to like go in. So when she was in public school for that year, she actually had to be held back a year to actually be in with her class. So we actually just skipped her past where she was supposed to be, and she just started 2nd grade level. The good thing about homeschool is that when your kids are ready, just because they finish 1st grade doesn't mean that you just have to stop there and wait until September starts. We're just able to swing on into the next one, and that's what we've done. So she is technically in 2nd grade now. Bo Diddley. Bo, okay. So for those that don't know, Bo is Nathaniel. We will always call him Bo. The reason is because when he was a baby, all he ever did was just mean mug. He would just look at you like you were crazy. I'm probably gonna insert a picture here. So tell me what you think. Anyways, so Bo was the one who was always just mean. So I called him Bo, short for Debo, and that has been his name and it has stuck. So Bo right now is in thumb braces. I will also show a picture right here. And because he's in thumb braces, it's to get him to stop sucking his thumbs. His teeth are starting to kind of turn in like a triangle. And so it's definitely time to, and they said if you start it now, his teeth should hopefully align back to where they're supposed to go. And so we're believing that it will. They already even have shown a difference, and he's only done it for 2 weeks. So I actually see his teeth starting to shift just a little bit. And now it's not a whole lot. I'm not saying his smile is perfect, but it's definitely starting to shift and you can see it. The biggest reason we decided to put thumb braces on is because Nathaniel has really bad eczema. We have been to the dermatologist recently. We have changed everything. He will scratch so bad that he's bleeding on his elbows and will still be scratching and saying, "Mom, ow, it hurts." And so we decided that it was just time, especially his thumbs really have it, because when he sucks on them and then it's into the open air, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to crack. It's going to have so much different, like, it's just exposed to the air pretty much, and it just dries it out more. So we've recently had to put thumb braces on, and he, the first couple of days, really struggled with that. We also had to take his blanket away, and the reason being is that he associates his thumb sucking with his blanket. When he's sucking his thumb, he's holding that blanket right there. And I felt awful that we had to take it, but in the end, we know that it's what's best for him. So that's been kind of hard. But the good news is that in January, when we had all of the crazy snow, he potty trained in like 4 days. So from I think we started potty training on like a Tuesday. By Friday, he was completely potty trained, no accidents, and we are doing so well with that. So I'm so happy that he's potty trained, because 3 in diapers was not fun. So the only time he wears pull-ups is at night, and usually they're dry. It just kind of depends on if he can get out of his loft bed fast enough. So sometimes he'll just stay on the loft bed and just pee, because he's like, I can't make it there in time, and this is just the place to go. Besides that, where have I been? What has Manuel been doing? What have we been up to? Manuel is still doing really, really well at ironworking. Ironworkers, I don't know. He's an iron worker is all I'll say. So he's still enjoying that, still doing well there.
Sorry, could you say that again? My apologies. I couldn't.
Siri, I'm not worried about you, sis. Anyways, so Manuel is doing really well there. He's growing, he's thriving. He has officially made his first year. So he is, I guess, technically a second-year apprentice. So it has been his second year, and we have really just been, hold on one second. Hold on, give me a second. And sorry, it's always a kid around here. So he has just been doing so well there. And me, what have I been up to? I am actually starting something that is big to me, something that I feel like I have really prayed for, and I am going out on a limb here and just believing God. I have always had a heart for moms. I think after having Nathaniel, I think, you know, we all think motherhood's hard and we're kind of in it by ourselves, whatever. But after having Nathaniel, and I struggled with postpartum depression, I knew that other moms felt isolated and other moms felt alone. So this is what I'm going to start doing. It should be kind of up and running in the process. The name is probably out there. But if you see my channel right now, it's called the Misfit Minivan, and that is what it's going to be called. For the mom who just doesn't fit in with modern day society, and let's be honest, a lot of us don't. So that is what it's called. And just kind of be on the lookout for that. It is definitely coming. It's just kind of in the beginning stages of it all, but I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I'm so excited for you guys to see what I've been working on behind the scenes. Just because you guys haven't seen me does not mean I have not been working. Y'all, I have been working. I am just, even when I think about the Misfit Minivan right now, I don't think about even moms right now. And although I do, I actually think about my daughter and my daughters-in-law later on. My daughter-in-laws. Daughters-in-law or daughter-in-laws? Somebody write in the comments and tell me what it is, because my brain's not working there right now. But I look forward to them having the resources and support that they need after postpartum. And all of the things that I'm learning right now is going to be for them. And I hope that I'm believing that by then that it's all straightened out and that they're able to get the resources and help in the community that they need to be able to thrive in motherhood. Motherhood is not supposed to be endured. It's supposed to be enjoyed. And I want to get to a place that all moms are enjoying the season that they're in. The season, whatever season they're in, I want them to get to a place that they are enjoying it. Whether it's the newborn stage, there's something to love. Whether it's the toddler stage, you gotta look hard, but there's something to love. Whether it's the teenage stage and you're handing over the keys to your kids, there is something to love. And I really want moms to start to enjoy the season that they're in. So that is really kind of what we've been up to. If you remember Harriet is our camper. Harriet is actually turning into a home office for me. I bought it and I told Manuel that I probably think that it's too small for our family of 7, and I love it so much, and it was my kind of style and it was my aesthetic and all of these things. And I said, how about we just turn it into an office? I don't have any space inside this house, so why not turn it into something for me? And that's exactly what's happening. So I am turning it into a space for me. We actually just recently bought a new camper that you guys will be seeing in a couple of months, because we're taking our first camping trip. Woohoo! So that's happening soon, and I think that is pretty much it. This video has been so incredibly long. I'm so sorry. I hope that I explained all of your questions. If you guys have any questions, anything that you guys would like to see, anything that you guys would like to know, please drop them down below in the comments, and I will be sure to answer each and every one of them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I so hope that you guys will tune back in for the next video. I am going to be trying to upload probably every Friday, but kind of give me some grace in these next couple of weeks as I ease myself back into YouTube. Again, I miss you guys, love you guys, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye! Woo!